In November of 2024, I opened my first ever prop firm account with Apex. Just 1 month later, I took my first ever payout of $2,000. In the following 6 months, I went on to lose $10,000. In the 6 months following that, I lost another $10,000. And then finally, in the past 3 months, I've been able to pull out $115,000 in payouts from various prop firms. Day trading is both an emotional and a financial roller coaster. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how I went from losing tens of thousands of dollars at a time to finally getting over that hump and pushing into profitability over just the past 3 months. But before we get into that, if you guys could leave a like on the video, subscribe, and join the free Discord, link is down in the description below, that would be greatly appreciated. So the way that I was initially introduced into day trading was through one of my coworkers. I work a job in construction, building new power lines, and if you know anything about the construction industry, it's not the place you go to find people that are financially literate by any means. So when I was able to find someone who was like-minded like me, who was heavy into investing and trading and just financials in general, that was something that we were able to talk about every day and actually develop a relationship around. So basically every day that we'd show up to work, we'd talk about stocks, crypto, investments, and eventually day trading. And at first, when he introduced me to the idea of day trading, I was very hesitant because I know how much of a scammy industry the day trading scene can be. So over the following days and weeks of him begging me to start a prop firm account so that he could day trade with someone, we finally had some time off at work, and during our downtime, he helped me set up my first prop firm account, showed me a strategy that I could use, and from then on, I was officially hooked on day trading. And just as a side note, if my coworker never would have showed me actual payouts that he had taken that actually hit his bank account, I probably never would have gotten to day trading in the first place, just because day trading in general just seems so shady and potentially scammy. There's so many fake gurus and all these people flexing their money and stuff like that. It just seems like a very shady industry to get into. And then along with this, you throw in something like prop firms and it makes it sound even more unbelievable. You can pay $100 to get access to $50,000 of capital, and then you can pull out thousands of dollars from just that $100 investment. It all sounds way too good to be true, and that's exactly what I was thinking at first too, until he actually showed me that he had taken thousands and thousands of dollars of payouts over the past couple months. That's what actually led me to starting my first account. If it weren't for him showing me actual proof that prop firms aren't just a way to take advantage of people and steal their money, I probably never would have gotten into this. So once I had learned that prop firms were a legitimate business model and you actually can be part of that 1% that actually does make money from day trading, that's when I decided I was going to dedicate basically all of my free time to practicing and getting better at day trading. So in the very beginning, I was an ICT trader. Now, if you know anything about me now, that is nothing like the current strategy that I do now. And there's nothing wrong with the way that ICT trading is. It's just at the time, that was where I could find the most content on YouTube, and that's where I was getting all of my information from. There were seemingly hundreds of ICT students who were teaching his strategy in YouTube videos, and that was basically all I was doing, was watching those videos nonstop in my free time and practicing all the different strategies I was learning from there, and then implementing that into my trading during the actual trading days. And I will say one of the main problems I ran into in the beginning was that I was overcomplicating everything about trading. The way I saw it, the more strategies and the more little tips and tricks I knew about the market, if I were to combine all of them together into one single strategy, that would end up being the best overall outcome for me. And little did I know that this was definitely not the case, and overcomplicating things, especially in the beginning, and even where I'm at now, simplifying versus overcomplicating is always the way that I'm going to look at trading. I'm never going to try to overcomplicate. I think a very simple approach is always going to be the best, but especially when you're brand new, overloading yourself with information that you don't fully understand and can't fully implement into a trading strategy as well is just going to hurt you in the long run rather than help you. And for example, something as simple as having a full grasp on what the trend is going to be way more beneficial, in my opinion, than knowing about how to implement fair value gaps, inverse fair value gaps, order blocks, and SMTs into your trading. And if you don't know what I'm talking about and don't know what those things are, that's probably for the best. Not to throw any shade at ICT traders, but it's quite the coincidence that 99% of prop firm traders are doing an ICT strategy, and at the same time, 99% of prop firm traders are unprofitable as well. So anyways, moving on with my trading journey. In the very beginning, I was trying to implement the most complicated trading concepts possible into my overall strategy, and within the first month of doing this, I was was able to take a $2,000 payout after only spending right around $1,000 on evals and funded account. This gave me the exact amount of confidence I needed in myself to start going much heavier into trading and spending a lot more money in the process. So the thing about the prop firm Apex is one of their most important things that they push onto people is the fact that you're able to trade 20 accounts at one time, and their max payout is $2,000, meaning the biggest payout you can take in one trading period with them is $40,000. To a new trader like me who just made their first $2,000 trading with them, my obvious next step was to immediately get 20 funded accounts and go for that $40,000 payout. Needless to say, this did not go very well for me, and over the course of the next 6 months trading with Apex, I would basically save up my money until I could afford 20 funded accounts comfortably, buy them, blow them, and then repeat the process over and over again until the end of that about 6-month period where I finally took a step back and thought I might need to do something different. So up to this point, I'm about 7 months into my day trading journey. I'm down right around $10,000 and my confidence is at an all-time low. So now what I determined to be my next step in my trading journey was going to be to find a new strategy to trade. Whatever it is about ICT just wasn't working with me. If it was too complicated, if I was doing it wrong, if I was potentially getting bad information, or if I was just not able to implement the things that I was learning properly into my trading, whatever was going on, it just wasn't clicking and it wasn't working out for me. So now the new strategy that I was going to try, still using the prop firm Apex, chasing that $40,000 payout, was going to be scalping on the low time frame. So I had tried one end of the spectrum with ICT trading, where you're taking these sniper precise entries with little risk and huge reward. So now my thought process was that I'm going to try the exact other end of the spectrum, where I'm going to be taking these entries on the extremely low time frame where my risk is going to be just about equal to my reward on every single trade. So at this point, I'm still copy trading with 20 Apex accounts at a time. And at this point, my 20 Apex accounts are running extremely close to being blown. So I decide to start individually trading all of them and seeing if I can save any of them in the process. And somehow over the next couple weeks, I was able to save one of the accounts and bring it back from the grave and take a full payout with that one single account. It was a small dent into the total losses that I had taken over the past however many months it had been. But again, it gave me the confidence that I needed to continue trying this strategy and to try to dig myself out of the hole that I had created. So as I had tried out this new scalping strategy, I'd come across a MyFunded Futures discount code in the process and decided to open an account with them and just see how that played out. It's also important to know right around this time, I had stopped trading 20 Apex accounts at a time. I had learned my lesson and figured out that I couldn't keep doing this. I was just losing way too much money in the process. So I would trade a little bit on Apex with anywhere between 1 to 5 accounts at a time with Apex. I was no longer going for the full 20 just because I was losing money way too fast and had no real data supporting that I was able to take a $40,000 payout anytime in the near future without potentially losing all the money that I had in the process. So with this one MyFunded Futures account, along with some random Apex accounts along the way, I was able to take one $1,200 payout with MyFunded Futures. And then at the same time, I got a couple of payouts denied by Apex due to breaking their long list of rules that they have. So I decided that I'm gonna have to change something up with that as well. I don't have any problems with Apex as a prop firm. They have a long list of rules that I think is annoying and I personally don't want to deal with. But if you do follow their rules, they pay people out every single day, no questions asked. So they aren't running a shady business in any way. But with a long list of complicated rules that they have, it's not really trader friendly at all. And in order to be successful with Apex, you kind of have to develop your own strategy based upon their exact rules. And you're not going to be trading how you would normally want to trade. You kind of have to trade based on exactly how they want you to trade in order to not break their rules. So it's very complicated for a beginner trader. And at that point in time, I decided that I need to stop trading on Apex and try some other prop firm, see if I can find a way to consistently take payouts with a prop firm that just has less complicated rules that I can have an easier time dealing with. And this is where Top Step came into play for me. Now, I had traded with Top Step a little bit before in the past, and I'd never really given them like a fair shot to dedicate a significant amount of time and effort with them. And the thing that really made the difference with me and Top Step was my older brother had actually gotten into day trading around this time, and he had actually been trading with both Top Step and Apex at the same time. And what he noticed in a very short amount of time is that while he was taking consistent payouts on Top Step, he was almost never taking those same payouts on Apex in the same trading time frame. And this really made me notice and realize something that I should have known the entire time, and that is that Top Step has significantly easier payout rules. And due to this, taking a payout with Top Step is also going to be significantly easier. So what it comes down to is that Top Step's only rule is that you have to have 5 days of $150 of profit in order to take a payout. Meanwhile, Apex has a ton of different rules: intraday trailing drawdown, consistency rules, profit amount rules, just a long list of rules that you have to follow that's basically holding you back from making the most amount of money possible. And while Apex is kind of known for denying payouts for various different reasons, Top Step is never going to have a reason to deny payout as long as you follow their one rule, which is 5 days of $150 profit. So with that being said, at that point, I had decided that I'm completely done with Apex. I'm no longer going to trade with them at all, and I'm going to go all in on Top Step and see how that works out for me. And when I first started with Top Step, like really going heavy into trading with them and focusing as them as my main and only prop firm, I was having very mixed results. It seemed like I could pass a trading combine very easily, and then right when it got to live, everything that I had just done that was working out so well would not work out, and I would end up blowing my accounts. And this went on for a while, a couple more months of trying the scalping strategy, and before I knew it, I was down another $10,000 in about a 6-month span. So up to this point, I was nearing the end of 2025, and the only thing I could think about was how I was going to go an entire calendar year and not be profitable on the year, which was going to be really hard on me, and my ego was going to take a major hit in the process. So for the months leading up to the end of 2025, I was preparing myself to be embarrassed and ashamed of my performance, having spent tens of thousands of dollars and having nothing to show for it. So it was at this point, right around October, where I took a step back and decided that I no longer wanted to scalp, and I wanted to look into a different strategy that more suited what I was comfortable or happy or confident in trading. So what I did at this point was I thought about all the different things and concepts and strategies that I had learned over the past year and figured out which one of those were most applicable to what I saw on a day-to-day basis while trading NASDAQ. And I really wanted a simple strategy that I could repeat daily that made the most sense to me. And the two main concepts that I noticed were most important, at least to me and in my history of trading, were number one, trading with the trend, and number two, using prior highs and lows as your stop losses and your take profits in trades. Two very simple concepts that basically all traders use in some way. Those two things were going to be the basis of all the trades that I take in the future. And those two concepts alone, along with about a year of screen time, made all the difference for me. I started trading 5 50K Top Step accounts at a time, and on just my third attempt, I was able to take my first ever full max payout with Top Step of $25,000. And just like that, right at the end of the year, I finally dug myself out of the hole that I had created and was just about break even on the year. However, those accounts were still live and trading, so I had potential to potentially turn my entire year around and flip it from negative to profitable, all within the same 2-week span. From that point, I was able to take another $20,000 payout just 5 days later, giving me $45,000 in payouts in just the month of November. And now obviously at this point, I'm feeling much better about myself. I went from a place of potential embarrassment and shame that I was gonna have to tell everyone that I had been trading for over a year now and I have nothing to show for it. I'm actually about $25,000 in the hole, to now at this point, I've saved myself right at the end of the year, and I'm actually up right around $20,000 heading into the last month of the year. And it was at this point, after taking those $45,000 in payouts, that I did actually start this YouTube channel that we're on here right now. And I was able to document the process. And along the way, I was able to grow a nice community. We have right around 5,500 subscribers right now, and the Discord is running good too with right around 350 members. So in a crazy turn of events, right at the end of the year, I was able to take one good thing that was happening to me and turn it into a couple more good ones with both the YouTube channel and the Discord, all coming together very well in the past couple months. So now, from using this strategy that I've kind of come up with on my own terms, I've been able to take out another $50,000 in the month of January, and now the first day of February here, I've been able to take another $14,000 in payouts, bringing my total payout number to right around $120,000 since I first started last November. So over the course of a little bit more than a year, day trading has been able to have a significant impact in my life, not only monetarily, but also in the fact that I was able to start this YouTube channel and also the Discord and have a nice community of like-minded traders who are all looking to help each other out in the pursuit of becoming profitable traders. And that's basically it up to this point. That has been my entire trading journey, and I guess the moral of the story is, don't give up, because you never truly know how close you are to becoming successful. Over the course of a little bit more than a year, I went from a pretty low point in my life financially to basically doubling my yearly salary working my full-time construction job. And yeah, it just goes to show you really never know how close you are to actually achieving your goals.